Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right. So I want to talk about excellent endings again today. And the reason why this is coming up is because two things have happened in the last literally 6 hours that made me realize this topic deserves a little bit more attention. I think the topic of excellent endings deserves a ton of attention, and we may actually start doing something a little bit different with this moving forward, to be determined. But two things happened. One, I had somebody reach out to me who had read the book and who had listened to the podcast I did a while back about how everything is used for good, how excellent endings can become excellent beginnings, how any ending can become a new beginning. And I think it's like episode 4 or 5 potentially on here. We'll link it on the show notes. But this individual reached out and they said that this book had been helping them a lot think about how they were navigating their endings, and also it had made him realize how many endings he's in the middle of, and one of the questions that he asked was, what about the endings that were not my choice? Like a lot of the endings, and the way I talk about endings is when we choose to complete something, we choose to end a relationship, we choose to no longer behave a certain way, we choose to you know leave a company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then there are those endings that happen that we didn't want or we didn't see coming, and oftentimes, even if we didn't see them coming, or we think we didn't see them coming, once we get to the other side, if we really take a pause, we can kind of look back and see where we might have actually seen hints that they were coming, but perhaps missed it, perhaps overrode it, or in some cases, we're just completely blindsided by endings. So his question was, what do you do about those? Like, how do you navigate those? And, in Excellent Endings, I talk about my experience of moving through the completion of a marriage. And then I also talk about things that I've witnessed in terms of when people have left jobs, when people have ended friendships, when people have, ended whatever. And I talk about the endings that we get to choose how we move through them. I talk a little bit about how do we make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, especially when those endings are not something we would have chosen. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit more to kind of hopefully relax into today and to think about from a different perspective. And then the other thing that happened was I just did a recording of a podcast, Untangled. I've been on it before. It's with Patricia Karpus. She's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And we had talked a couple years ago about, the IP method and becoming and all these different things. And today she wanted to talk about the book. So we talked about excellent endings and some of the questions she asked. I'm looking forward to getting that, to having that go live, because some of the questions she asked were questions I had never been asked before about this, which is one of the reasons why I adore how PK interviews and I adore her show. But, some of them got me thinking about what I wanna talk about here as well. So let me adjust my camera a little bit. There, you don't need to see my ceiling, do you? And, we may or may not get into a fancy recording studio at some point. We'll see. I really do enjoy doing this with all of you, and I wanted to make sure it's got legs before we start to really run it down and get going on making it bigger and fancier for you. But, right now, you just get me in my office. Okay, so let's get into it. So here's the thing. What if the ending that you're navigating now wasn't actually the ending that you wanted? What if it wasn't yours to begin with? And it is imposed by someone else? We see this a lot with divorce. We see this a lot with relationships. We see this a lot with companies when companies are making major changes. We see this a lot with jobs. People get laid off. Um, we see this with all sorts of, we see this with death. Presently, I've got somebody in my life who is um, actually in hospice right now, and so we're navigating that ending. That is not an ending that I would have designed or chosen for. However, I'm very grateful to be able to be navigating that ending in a way that's present with a little bit of a. I feel grateful for the warning, I should say. I guess we have this time to do that ending thoughtfully. But we see endings happen all the time that we didn't choose, and so what do you do with those? So I've got 7 things that I'm gonna just talk about quickly. The first step is you be in it and you really honor it. So no matter what's happening, you just stop, you be in it, you honor it. I'll come back to this a little bit. Number 2, you take excellent care of yourself, just excellent care of yourself. Number 3, you find your people. Number 4, when you're ready, you get curious and you start to process the learning and the wisdom and what it's teaching you. Number 5, you get to start to think about, well, who do you want to become now? You know, um, what learning do you want to bring with you as you move forward? Number 6, you get to look at your truth in your becoming and who you are and how you got to that ending. I'm going to talk more about this. And by the way, 6 and 5 are closely related, but 6 is really important to look at in terms of telling yourself the truth about who you were in that past situation, who you were leading up to that ending, who are now, and who you're going to be. And you have a lot of power and choice as you move forward in this that you would not have had if you hadn't gone through that ending. And then number 6 is to give yourself a minute. It's to give yourself a minute to not jump right into something different that's going to distract you from getting the real lessons of your current ending. So those are the 7 things. Now, I said on Patricia's podcast today, I am not the go-to expert on divorce or endings, or I'm not a therapist. This is all from me working with human beings over the last 24 years in performance and leadership and presence and relationship design and all these different pieces, like basically helping people be more of who they want to be in the world and have more of the impact they want to have. So this is coming from my experience in those areas, as well as my experience for myself. The entire book, Excellent Endings, was written as me just sharing the things that helped me when I was navigating one of the most challenging endings of my life years ago. So I offer these as information. I offer these as little stakes that may support you in what you're going through. And I also offer these with full permission for you to reorganize them how they suit you, to change the content how it suits you personally, and to really make your own kind of guidebook about it. But these are 7 core pillars that I think are worth having as you move forward, especially if you didn't choose that ending. Also, if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments, send me DMs, send me an email, Anese at activechoices.com. Let me know if you're interested in going more into this topic because I'm starting to think that there might be more for me to talk and write about in this topic, especially when it comes to any kind of ending. So business endings, all that good stuff. So let me know, job endings, et cetera, et cetera. Let me know if you're interested. It's good for me to kind of get a feel for what people are resonating with because I could talk about a lot of things and I love to talk about a lot of things, but I want to be really, really helpful with this podcast. So let me know. Okay, so the first one, be in it and fully honor where you're at. So this is just it's what it sounds like. It is basically you just had this thing happen and for the intents of this call or in the intents of this session, I'm just going to say this was an ending that you did not expect to have happen. This blindsided you or it snuck up on you or you kind of knew it might be coming but you didn't really you were hoping that was not true. So anyway, this is an ending that you did not choose. So the first step is to be really present with yourself and to be in it, to let yourself have all of your authentic emotions, to let yourself have your feelings, your anger, your hurt, your frustration, your confusing, to like really, really be present with it. In this first step, what I want to invite you to not do is to go and self medicate with food or alcohol or drugs or other people. What's the saying? Like the quickest way to get over somebody is to get under somebody else. Like that phrase is always kind of hit the back of my neck wrong. Because what that means is that you're doing a spiritual bypass around the actual feelings that you're having, and so therefore you're going to bring whatever grief and whatever learning you've got, you're going to bring that experience into your next relationship. So my belief is that you're not going to fully be able to get the learning. And then also, you're not bringing that energy to your next partner, your next person, or your next job or whatever. So give yourself a minute, be in it, honor it, give yourself full permission. This is also where it can be very useful to go to your friends, your people, your therapist, your whoever who can be very present with you and can hold a solid container for you so that you can actually have your experience. What we're looking for here is just full permission to be exactly where you're at. What we're not looking for here is for your friends to collude with you, make it worse, try and save you, et cetera, et cetera. You just want to be in it. If you've got a therapist, if you can have a therapist, I'm a big fan of having somebody who's not in your life, who does not have an agenda for you, who's not going to project their opinions and can just support you in being a witness and helping you kind of process some of what's happened. So just be in it, honor it. Number two, take excellent care of yourself. And although, by the way, if I had my way, this is happening at the exact same time as number one. You're going to take excellent care of yourself. So you're going to, make sure you're eating well. You're going to really watch your self talk. I think when an ending happens that we did not plan or want, there's a way that our confidence can get really, really obliterated. I um, had something happen in 2023 that was devastating, and I was blindsided by it. But in looking back at it, I could have seen some of the signs of what was going to happen. It was a business situation, and I can remember. Uh, as that was happening and my confidence was kind of shook, I can remember going, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to make sure that I can actually, you know, be back out in the world and perform and have my confidence without faking it?" And part of the way that I was able to do that was to make sure that I was taking really good care of myself, that I was staying in alignment with myself, and that I was really questioning where I was being hard on myself about, like, that was making my confidence go down. Because if you guys look at this, and this is a whole nother conversation, and PK and I talk about it a little bit in Untangled, but if you look at it, confidence is an inside game. So, outside of ourselves, can we have our confidence whacked? Absolutely. Someone breaks up with us, we get fired, we lose a business deal, somebody else gets chosen for something we really wanted. Of course, that can be a whack of the confidence, but ultimately, that's a temporary whack. The real power is in staying with yourself, being present with yourself, not abandoning yourself, and behaving in a way that is congruent so that whatever is happening outside of you, even if you were just severely disappointed, you still have yourself. You still have your own back. You can still be kind to yourself. You can still root for the learning. You can still root for what you could have done better without making yourself wrong, et cetera, et cetera. So number two is you take excellent care of yourself. This is including your mindset, your self-talk, and watching yourself for your rumination. I don't know anybody that really benefits from ruminating, like really ruminating. I am a queen of rumination. I know how to do it. I'm very good at doing it. I can get really stuck there. So when that happens and when I start to notice myself ruminating or trying to think of how I could have done something better or gosh, can't believe that happened. That to me, the minute I start to feel that and I feel that contraction, that is a sign for me to take a breath, take a step back, and to check in. What is the gift that the rumination has for me? Because if it continues to happen, there's often wisdom or there's some healing in there that has not been done yet. But if it is just because I'm mentally stuck there, that then it's time to start to let that go, and I need to focus on different things that are going to move me forward, and that has to do with my self care and my mindset. So that's number two. Number three is to find your people. So I mentioned in number one, your therapist, your support system, et cetera, et cetera. Number three is a little bit different. It could include those people, but this is also your people who know you. Um, this is your people who know you. They know you, they see you, they know your heart, they believe in you. And if you're feeling really down or you're feeling like you just need a hug or you need a little bit of a reminder of who you are and who you want to be, these are the people that will reflect that back to you, hold that space for you, and they will champion you and be there for you no matter what. These are not the people that are your fair weather friends that say, "Oh, I got you. I totally got you." And then they disappear. These are the people that really say, "I see you. I hear you. I believe in you. What do you need?" Doesn't even mean they need to even fix anything for you. Doesn't even mean that they're going to do anything for you. It just means that they're present and they're genuinely present and able to hold that container and reflect back to you whatever it is that you need in that moment so that you can keep moving forward and get to your next bit of space. These are also people that will tell you the truth. Okay. So these are not just people that are going to say, "Oh, you're so wonderful. It's great." Da, da. These are also people that when the time is right, they will have the situational and the emotional awareness and intelligence to say, yes, this thing happened. And they're not going to just flatter you and make you, make the situation all the other person's fault or pick on the other person. They're also, if there's a truth to be told around where they see you getting in your own way, or they see you might have contributed to the situation, or where they see, in some cases, a lot of times your friends will see the red flags, and you'll even share the red flags with them. And then when it ends, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it ended. So these are the friends that will say, well, actually, when the time is right, you guys know your timing, know your timing. These are the friends that will say, well, actually, I just wanna reflect back, like, where might you have seen this? So they'll hold you to the standard of who you wanna be and who you were saying you wanna be, but they will also do it with care, and they will not just hit and run it. So they're not just gonna go, "See, I told you so," and then take off. They're gonna say, "Let's look at this together, and how can I be helpful?" And they're going to hold a caring, nourishing container for you. This is so, so important. Number 4, and this kinda coincides with that number 3, and number 4 could come before number 3, so you guys do these on your own schedule. But when you're ready to do this, you're going to shift from grief and shock into breath and more curiosity, and really starting to look at, "Well, what is there for me to learn?" And even if you can get there, how is this happening for me? Like, how actually, what might the gifts be? And this is not a spiritual bypass. This is not being Pollyanna. This is not being all kumbaya. This is really looking at, okay, what can I learn here? What is this here to teach me? How is this happening for me? How is this happening through me? Then the big question I mentioned in number 3, which is, where might I have actually seen this? What flags did I override? Where did I see there was an issue and I didn't do anything about it? Like, where did I see this? When I look back at the debacle that occurred for me and my company in 2023, there were some red flags that I saw, and there was a couple things that didn't feel right that I very consciously said, "Okay, I see them, and I'm going to keep going." And you know what? Guess what? I was complicit in making that thing happen, because there was a couple things where if I would have stopped that, and I would have really stood more in my power on what I saw was happening, I could have. Well, I don't know if I could have stopped what happened from happening, but I could have uh, probably tipped it to go in a way that would be a little bit easier on me and my company and my team. So there's always a thing. Generally speaking, when people end relationships, they look back, they can see where, the person was your partner was asking you to go to therapy, or they were asking for help, or they were telling you needed to talk, and you're just really, really busy and you want to do it. Or maybe you're in your company and you're seeing red flags about things are going a little bit weird, or people being really careful, or they're not talking to you. Like, there's usually, if you look back in number 4 and you start to get curious, there's usually things you could see. And if there's not, which I think there usually is, but if there's not, even if there's not, there's stuff you can learn. So what do you want to learn now? And then also number 4 is, what do you want to take with you? What wisdom do you want to take with you moving forward into the next chapter? What do you want to make sure? What do you have new criteria? Do you have new standards? Do you have new boundaries? Do you have new policies? This could be business or professional. Like, what do you want to take with you? I can tell you that our company now, we have got such a better system in place for how we work with companies and how we do things, because of some of the endings that we've had in the past that weren't my favorite things. So, you want to now make this look at, how do you start to use this for good. Number 5 is, who do you want to become now, and the learning you bring with it, which is very well blended with number 4. It's like, okay, this thing has happened. It is done. You may be navigating it for a while, depending on what it is. Who do you want to be in this? Like, how do you want to show up? What's the energy you wanna bring to it? What's the kind of leader you wanna be? Do you want to contribute to helping things go right and moving forward, or do you want to, contribute to things getting harder? Like, who do you wanna be in this? And I think that is a really juicy question. You guys can check out Contagious You. You can also check out The Leader You Will Be, that little book that I wrote that talks about, some of the qualities of leadership and choosing how we wanna be in the world. But you also, even without those, you could just really start to think about, well, who do I want to be in this now? Who do I want to be? Number 6, you want to check in on your becoming. And this ties into everything. Okay. This ties into everything that we've been talking about. But this becoming is, if you look really closely at how you contributed, or the things that happened, or maybe you didn't contribute at all and it just full on happened to you. It's completely out of your control and that happens. You wanna look now at who you're becoming in this and who you've become because of this. And then one of the questions that I see come up a lot is when people stop and really start to do the work and really start to look at themselves, they will start to find things that they love about themselves and that they're very much um, happy about and they feel an integrity and alignment with, and then they're gonna find things that they don't maybe love about. Like, maybe there's some places where they're out of integrity, or there's some places where their behavior is not supporting them, or their behavior is contributing to more conflict, or the way that they're conflict avoidant is actually part of what got to the situation where they're having an ending that they don't want right now. And so you wanna look at telling yourself the truth of who have you become, who are you now, who were you in this process, and if you find things that you don't like or that you'd like to change, if you find especially behaviors that you don't like, or that aren't helpful, maybe I should say that, that aren't helpful to your leadership, your quality of life, who you are, who you say you want to be, then you've got this gorgeous opportunity to change them. You've got this beautiful opportunity to go, okay, this is not who I want to be. So, what do I need to do to become the kind of person I want to be moving forward? And you can create a really lovely action plan for yourself there. And I think when people come to me privately, and even in our presence and impact leadership circle, I think that's one of the common things I see for people is they're amazing human beings. They're already phenomenal and they're on a growth trajectory to become even better and even better. And then every once in a while, something really hard will happen, or very frequently, something hard will happen. And so they're on this growth period, consistent growth period. And one of the anchors is for them to be asking themselves, well, who am I being? How am I complicit in creating what I say I don't want? And who do I want to become moving forward? And then we create an action plan out of that. One caveat with that, it has to be yours. It has to be because you want it. It can't be because I'm telling you I think it's a good idea. It can't be because anybody in your life told you to do it. It has to be because it's truly important to you. The more it's grounded for you, the more important it is to you, and you really are connected to that, the easier this is going to be to become that person you want to become. Now, you may need coaches, you may need external coaching, you may need external support to become that person. But it starts with you getting really honest, taking a pause and asking yourself that question. And then number 7, the last one is to give yourself a minute. So, give yourself a minute. So often, what I see people do is they go through something hard and they move quick into something else to cover up that pain. Another job, another contract, another person, another ha habit. They dive really hard into some kind of a behavior, some kind of something to occupy their time and their mind so that they can kind of, escape this thing. And my invitation to you is to give yourself a minute before you move into, um, getting into something different that might rob you of the ability to really, really milk the situation, to really, really glean all the wisdom you can for yourself and also to heal, to give yourself a moment to heal, to give your nervous system a moment to heal. I think that this has been one of my biggest learnings has been the benefit of, even though it is so painful sometimes to sit in the mess, just to sit in the mess, like, oh, who wants to sit in the mess? That is some of the most juicy space for feeling your feelings, getting really comfortable with your discomfort, and really getting to a place where you tell yourself the truth so you can become the kind of person that you want to become and you can learn what you want to learn. You can end well, whatever the thing is, even if the thing was horrible, you can still end well from your terms, your integrity. And then you can step into your new beginnings, beginning in whatever way feels most authentic and in integrity for you. I do believe that the way that we end things is ultimately setting us up for our new beginnings, and I think that how we end something, um, it has a huge impact on the next thing, whether it's professional or personal or whatever. I do believe it, and the reason why I believe that is even if they're unrelated, it's you. You take yourself with you wherever you go, so how you are in ending something, the work you do on yourself, what you learn about yourself, that presence you build on yourself. You guys, that presence, that congruent, aligned presence that is comfortable with its own discomfort, that you are your own very best friend. That is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself because you take that into any new beginning and you have a completely different ball game to play. You have a completely different chapter to step into. So that is my wish for you, is that you become even more of yourself in the process of whatever you are going through right now. And I'm going to end it on that for today. Keep this one short. Thank you so much for being here. I thank you for spending your time with me. I don't take that for granted. I thank you um, for caring about these topics. I thank you for liking and sharing and doing all the things that you do that you feel are true for you with this work. And I send you lots and lots and lots of love. All right, we'll put show notes together. We will see you soon. And thanks again. Bye.